booster, Maximum L+Z, and I believe, what, about a year ago, you did just that. You introduced an extra add-on that a lot of folks have been really excited about.
It was only a year ago, and I was trying to interrupt you a second ago, sorry, but I just wanted to mention, I just checked, I was getting some information that we are getting low on the 2 large sizes of Ultimate Eye and Ultimate Eye with astaxanthin. And because it's such a complex formula, where we're combining these highly concentrated liquids, the lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin, and some of the powder ingredients, we might not have the ability to bring in as many as we normally would should we run out. So just to know, because I think we're down to the last 2,000 on the large Ultimate Eye, and we're down to about 5,000 or so on the Ultimate Eye with astaxanthin, and that's 5 times more popular, so that's not a good number. So just so everyone knows that. But as to the Maximum L+Z, these are designed to work perfectly together. My doctor, my ophthalmologist, when he likes our Ultimate Eye product, of course, but he said for certain patients who have specific issues, might be their age, might be specific things going on with their eyes, he wants them to take an extra 12 and 6 lutein and zeaxanthin. So for certain patients, he wants them to be at 24 and 12. So he wants them to take the basic Ultimate Eye with all the comprehensive support, but then he wanted that booster of 12 and 6. And for many people with very healthy vision, they want 12 and 6. So what we have here is the ability with our Max L+Z. Each capsule is 12 and 6. Right. So you're getting the full 12 and 6 with each capsule. You take that with our Ultimate Eye, you get to 24 and 12 if you want. Or for many people, they just take the multivitamin and they just want the L+Z on its own. So what this was my eye doctor asking me to do something that apparently your eye doctors had been asking the same exact thing, and that same exact thing that your eye doctor has been asking was to deliver a 12 lutein, 6 zeaxanthin booster. So we did it as affordably as possible. We did it in a small, easy to swallow capsule. Both of these products are. So you get these critical ingredients, and they are lutein and zeaxanthin. They are defining of our visual system. They're defining of our ability to see. So we need to make sure, and what you opened there, if you do that with astaxanthin, it's impressive as well, our single astaxanthin. But that gives you a sense of how outrageously concentrated this capsule are. Most people consider lutein and zeaxanthin to be kind of a light yellow-orange, kind of a bright yellow. That's how they look in your eye. That capsule is so concentrated that it almost looks almost blood red, because it's just such an incredibly concentrated source. There's 18,000 milligrams of concentrated lutein and zeaxanthin in that tiny little capsule. So it's a wonderful opportunity. If this is all you could do, if you just took one of these capsules a week, then you're probably doubling, actually, you're probably quadrupling the levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in your diet. Wow. So one of these capsules a week, if that's all your budget permits. And again, a healthy diet, if you only have one healthy meal a week, that's better than not having any healthy meals in a week. It's not like drugs or medicines where you need to be taking something specifically to get any benefit at all. If all you could afford is one of these capsules a week or every other day, you're still doing an incredibly wonderful thing. And even if you took it every other day, you're probably increasing the levels of lutein and zeaxanthin by over 1,000% over your diet.
So there's, as you can see, a lot of research that goes into why folks are so inclined to boost with the Max L+Z. And I want to go over the today's special pricing so everybody realizes, you know, we're talking Ultimate Eye support, but this also is a today's special pricing. So for Maximum L+Z, lutein and zeaxanthin, all with free shipping and handling, $30, $60, $120, or $240, this is what you would have paid yesterday. So this is the normal pricing, and when our today's special is over, it will be the pricing again. If you're able to order and shop today, remarkably lower. So for the 240 caps, it's $99.90, saves you $80. So a great value for money. And Andrew, one of the things listening tonight, really understanding what we've been talking about, One of the things that's really, I suppose, intrigued me is this idea, we're talking about our eyes, we're talking about protecting and looking after, but in the same vein, we're talking about the brain, right? We're talking about benefits to the brain. So there's a lot more going on here.
Well, what's funny is you can look at, trace the history of so many of my products, and I guess I'm dating myself. I've been manufacturing vitamins for 41 years. And when you talk about lutein and zeaxanthin, well, my first eye product was basically just vitamin A, C, and E 41 years ago, and in the proper forms to deliver benefits and certain botanicals. We put bilberry in, and here we are 41 years later, and about 30 years ago, we added lutein. About 20 years ago, we added zeaxanthin, made sure it was the proper isomers in their natural forms. So it's been this gradual progression, and talk about omega-3s. When we first talked about omega-3s, it was heart health and heart health. Heart health, that's what we talked about. Now we know that you can't have healthy vision without adequate levels of DHA, because DHA and your brain, 2/3 of the dry weight of your brain is DHA, the omega-3. So it is inescapable. When you look at the way our body is created, our sensory organs are basically an extension of our brain. So as long as lutein and zeaxanthin are so critical to the structure and function, you can't have vision without lutein and zeaxanthin. So as long as they're critical to the structure and function of our vision, and our visual system, our eyes, are just a specialized part of our brain, it would actually be a surprise if lutein and zeaxanthin weren't critical to the brain. Now, science is validating what Mother Nature has known all along. Science is validating that lutein and zeaxanthin are absolutely critical to healthy cognitive function. So if you want to look, and I had that chart before, which is a wonderful chart. I have it on the floor here. If we look here, if you look at cognitive function and there's also the same research for young people, but this is just looking at an older population, between 80 and 100 years of age. These are the lutein and zeaxanthin levels with people with normal cognitive function, normal brain function. These are the lutein and zeaxanthin levels of people with mild cognitive impairment. And that's mild cognitive impairment. That's a huge difference. So, and they see the same thing when they look at young people, and when they look at all sorts of different mental faculties, whether it's visual processing speed, whether it's memory, whether it's verbal memory, remembering words and things like that. So it's remarkable. So it goes without saying that lutein and zeaxanthin are an indispensable part of how our eyes work and how visual function occurs in our body. It's now sort of a new thing to say that it's an indispensable part of how our brain protects itself and how our brain works. So it's just exciting for me. It's exciting for me to make this the highest potency ultimate eye we've ever made at the lowest price ever. And now to be able to emphasize and underscore that this is not only about your eyes, but this is also about your brain. So it makes me feel better knowing, because these are expensive ingredients. As affordable as this really is per capsule, when you look at lutein and zeaxanthin, and you're looking at 18,000 milligrams in a capsule in their perfect natural form, and that you're looking at something that ends up being about, I think, about 40 cents a capsule. When you're looking at that, that is an absolute bargain for what these are. Zeaxanthin costs a few $1,000s a kilo, but it's about a 20-25% yield. So it ends up being closer to about $10,000 a kilo. So it's incredibly affordable. It's more affordable, more expensive actually than, when you boil it down, than gold. But I think in terms of what it can deliver to us, it's far more precious than gold.
It's an opportunity tonight to be able to get it. Again, the largest size is under $100. If you've been shopping tonight, you know our today's specials are Ultimate Eye Support and Ultimate Eye Support with astaxanthin. So a lot of folks are ordering that, and they're boosting it up, they're supercharging it with the Maximum L+Z. You know, the expense of the ingredients for sure, the quality of what's in here is remarkable. And one of the things, and I'm sure you caught it, Andrew said it, you know, your body isn't able to produce the lutein and zeaxanthin. And in the typical diet, we're not getting the appropriate levels, right? So if we're not getting it from our diet and our body isn't producing it, what are we doing to really maximize? That's what this product is all about. This is Maximum L+Z. Andrew already said it's never too late to start taking advantage of the technology, the power of the science, the research, the validation that's out there to really help give us that boost up, to give us that added benefit. Andrew, we all want to live as long and as healthy a life as possible. And in some cases, we have to look towards supplementation, and that's what this is.
Well, the only reason supplementation exists, sadly and unfortunately, is because of the inadequacy of our diet. And lutein and zeaxanthin, these are just difficult to find. These are elusive compounds in the American diet. Here, if you look at this chart right here from, I think it's Toxicology Letters, the average daily intake of lutein by Americans, and I've read lower numbers than that, that's a conservative number, is about 1.7 milligrams per day.
Wow.
One capsule of Max L+Z gives you more than 10 times more. So that's why I was saying, if you took one capsule a week, you're more than doubling your levels of lutein and zeaxanthin. Lutein consumption is far below the level of 6 to 14 milligrams per day that have been associated with eye health. And that's exactly why. We're at 18 milligrams, so even if you took it every other day, you're still getting there perfectly between the 6 and 14. That's why this is such an affordable product. It's why I make this product, because your ophthalmologist, my ophthalmologist recommended I do. Our Ultimate Eye Support is the foundational eye product that approaches so many different issues of eye health. This targets lutein and zeaxanthin to give you that booster if you have specific eye health issues. That is the reason why my ophthalmologist recommends it to so many of his patients. So, Journal of Food Science, it seems clear that macular pigment does influence visual performance through at least a few optical mechanisms. The most robust appears to be related to its actions as an optical filter. So not only is this about long-term protecting your vision, this is about having better vision today. So from Progress in Retinal and Eye Research, an important medical journal, macular lutein and zeaxanthin, for example, improve visual performance. It's a statement of fact. For example, it reduces glare disability and discomfort. It speeds photostress recovery, that dark to light, light to dark. It enhances chromatic contrast. It means that things look more beautiful. You have better contrast. We want our TV and our computers and our phones to have adequate contrast. This enables our eyes. This is how our eyes has adequate contrast. Through purely optical means by absorbing shortwave light anterior to the foveal cones. As we continue, the reviews are compelling, but the science is convincing.
Right.
Journal of Food Science, results showing that retinal, lutein, and zeaxanthin reduce glare disability and discomfort, reduce photostress recovery times, and enhance contrast are significant. Macular pigment improves glare performance through absorption of forward scattered shortwave blue light. But that same mechanism that enhances our vision right now is what protects our eyes long term. From the Gerontological Society of America, again, study of aging, lutein and zeaxanthin are xanthophyll carotenoids and are primary constituents of a protective substance in the eye called macular pigment. Not just protective, it's essential for vision. Higher intake of these nutrients, either through diet or supplementation, has been associated with an increase in macular pigment, and there is evidence they may slow, and we have dozens of charts that discuss this, they may slow the progression of age-related changes in the eye. So, very important to be aware of.
Thank you for all of your orders. Thank you for your calls on this one. We're busy. If you go to hsn.com, you can absolutely beat the rush. If you download the HSN mobile app, you're able to shop there as well. Andrew, that was the Max L+Z. Just before we say goodnight tonight, still hundreds of people